Alright, how you doing? Welcome to Rappin' Nature. I'm David, and on this channel I pay homage to nature and the ancients. Following my profound experiences in Egypt, I've been on a life-changing and spiritual quest. I explore megaliths, sacred landscapes, and the powerful connection between nature and the ancients. I hope you're able to join me on my journey and subscribe to Rappin' Nature. Cheers! In the limestone hills of central Portugal, in the Coimbra district, there are these very striking and mysterious looking natural formations. We are approaching Buracas do Casmillo. I wanted to come here for a long time. These are a few ancient karst caves formed by the collapse of limestone roofs over thousands of years. What remains today are huge open cavities or buracas, holes on the cliff faces. It's quite a sight and a beautiful location. It's thought that Buracas do Casmillo are what remains of an enormous cave that existed inside the mountain. You can see here, a mountain whose central part collapsed due to water erosion. Geologists tell us these cavities were carved over thousands of years by underground water. But nature doesn't just shape stone, it shapes imagination. What did the ancients see here? What did they feel and think through that prehistoric mindset? There's no doubt been human activity here over the millennia. It's perhaps been used as natural shelter for protection, ceremonies, or observation. There are acoustic properties and water sources, so they could well have been used for other reasons too. This is a place of silence, of mystery and forgotten stories. It's also thought the Moors used them as shelters during the Christian reconquest of Portugal, and legend has it the treasure was hidden here by the Moorish peoples. I don't believe the ancients would have just seen this as a geological wonder. I believe they saw it as alive. But is that all it was? Shelter or something more? It's a natural sanctuary shaped by time, carved by water and steeped in legend. And today, I'm going inside. Alright, how are you doing? So I'm very happy and grateful to be at Buracas do Casmillo. This is in central Portugal, in the Coimbra district of Portugal. It's an absolutely gorgeous morning. Guy and I are here, and this is a series of cavities, natural formations into the hillside. This is an ancient karst limestone landscape, and as soon as you see it, you see these cavities. It's like these huge eye sockets almost built into the hills, and there's a series on this side, and then there's one on this side which looks onto the others on the other side. So really happy to be here. I wanted to come here for a long time. There's been no official excavations here as far as I know, but no doubt there has been human activity here over the millennia. Certainly thought that the Moorish peoples during the re-Christianization of Portugal used this as a kind of sanctuary or a hideout, I think around the 11th century AD. And there's also folklore legend that treasure was hidden here by the Moorish people. So definitely adds to the mystery and intrigue of this place. These cavities, it's thought actually the caves went deeper at one point as well. So this is an incredible place. The birds are singing. It's a beautiful morning. So really happy to be here. So let's go and have a wee look, shall we? Come on, guys. Amazing guy. Absolutely amazing. So I'm inside one of these cavities, Buracas or Casmillo in central Portugal. As soon as you come in and I start talking, there's acoustics. You can hear that straight away. Wonder if that was of significance to these ancient people. It's damp in here as well, so I'd imagine there's water, there's streams, there's rivers, underground water. Here I'm just stepping into one of these small cavities within this main cavity. It's incredible. So I might have to test the acoustics in here shortly. I've got a bull roarer with me. I've also got a tuning fork. But this view is absolutely incredible. So thinking in terms of this place, again I can see water dripping, so there's clearly a water source here. Was that of significance? But my mind is straight away thinking in terms of these ancient sacred landscapes, how they would have been viewed or viewed through prehistoric eyes and used through that prehistoric mindset. And that's what I'm doing with Rip in Nature, you know, paying homage to nature and the ancients, and both are so closely connected. So this spot, yeah, no doubt it was a place to hide, a sanctuary, a lookout, perhaps a place for astronomical observations. But with the acoustics and the water, that perhaps adds a couple of different elements to this place. And this, within this cave, there's this wee bit at the back here, which kind of almost looks like a platform or a seat. You come in and then you have a wee seat here, and then you've got this amazing view right in front of you. There we go. That view from where I'm sitting right now. Amazing. Very peaceful, tranquil here. Amazing place. Ancient, magical, sacred landscape. My belief is, I've talked about this quite a bit, is the ancients viewed the earth as a living entity. A living, breathing entity. So how would they have seen or perceived these cavities, these caves? It would have been a sacred sanctuary, or it would have been like a sacred entrance into, almost like a sacred entrance into the womb of Mother Earth, you know? Almost like that dolmen feeling with dolmen's passageways, like a womb, feminine nature. But this, through prehistoric eyes, could have been seen as a place of rebirth or regeneration or transformation, above and beyond it being a place to hide or take shelter or sanctuary. But straight away, there's clearly water present here, underground water, and there is the acoustic properties as well. So on that note, excuse the pun, let's try the acoustics here. I've got the old tuning fork here, which is 432 Hertz. that was quite something, using that bull roarer inside this cavity at Buracas do Casmillo. Well, it's certainly waking some dogs up, that's for sure. It's just Guy and I, and all of a sudden I can hear, I don't know, at least 2 or 3 dogs nearby. But this is an incredible place. This would have been a place of the ancients. Certainly known that the Moors were here. Folklore treasure was hidden deep within the caves. It's thought that this cavity is almost like a entrance or enclosure that it would collapse deeper caves going into the mountain. Who knows, perhaps. It's interesting being inside this cavity. It's almost like there's kind of like wee kind of platform within it. It's just incredible, soaking up the atmosphere and what I'm seeing in front of me. What an incredible place. It's Buracas do Casmillo here in central Portugal. Beautiful, striking, ancient, sacred landscape. This would have been inhabited as a place of sanctuary, or a place to hide, to take shelter, a place perhaps of observation or defence, or even a place of energy. It's energetic hotspots. There's water here, and there's clearly acoustic properties as well. So perhaps this was also a place of healing, of energy, of rebirth, regeneration, transformation. I could stay here for hours inside this cave, this cavity. I'm sure my wife's got a joke there somewhere if she ever watches this. David likes to spend his time on his own in a cave in the middle of nowhere. Who would have thought? Gaia? That view I've got in front of me. This is clearly a sacred and ancient landscape and space. This karst limestone landscape, these natural cavities which have been formed over the millennia. I'd read perhaps that these cavities, or these are almost like enclosures or entrances where there's deeper caves within the mountain, which has kind of been filled in over the millennia. Perhaps there's certainly the folklore and legend with the Moorish peoples, the medieval times, the 11th century, where they hid here. It was a kind of hideout during the re-Christianization of Portugal, and there's folklore legend that they hid treasure here taken from some distant castle in Portugal. But when I come to these places, it's very much casting a wider net further back to the ancients, you know, the prehistoric mindset, Neolithic times. How would they have viewed a place like this, you know? So for me, I truly believe they thought the earth was a living entity. So this would have been a very special, spiritual, sacred, magical place to these people. It certainly feels like that to me, like an energetic hotspot. There's clearly water here. There's a water source, underground water, and there's the acoustic properties. So this would have been a place of energy. So not only a place to hide, or for shelter, or for observation, astronomical observations, but perhaps also, you know, if they viewed the earth as a living entity, then this would have been like a sacred entrance into the womb of the earth, into the womb of Mother Earth, maybe. A place of rebirth and regeneration and energy. It's an amazing spot. So we're gonna go for a wander and make our way over to these other cavities in a second. I don't know how many of them you can actually climb up to. I certainly know you can climb up to one because I can see someone there with their dog. So I'll just soak this up for a wee bit and then we'll go and look at the other cavities. All right? Gaia, it's okay. From there. It's okay, come. Shh. It's okay, come here. So this is an ancient karst limestone landscape. Reminds me a wee bit of the El Torcal mountains in Spain, near the Antiquera dolmens. And you know, like there, this is an ancient landscape with these incredible cavities into the mountain there on either side. So we've been in this main cavity, which overlooks these kind of 3 or 4 other cavities. So we're going to make our way over to the other side, see if we can climb into some of these cavities. So I'm inside one of these cavities where we've just come from this one over here where we started. This one's a lot smaller, but this cavity is almost as, I know these are natural formations, but this almost looks like a space which has been man-made, almost, because there's like a, almost like a platform type there, and again it's almost like there's steps leading into this second space or chamber, this circular cavity within the cavity. It's incredible. It's really quite something. We also have here a wall, dry stone wall, so I'm not entirely sure when that wall has been added. But this is an amazing spot. I especially like this second space within this cavity, and I'll go right inside it. It's kind of layered, so there's almost, it's almost like stairs, or almost like a kind of wee amphitheatre once you're inside it. Let me show you. There we go. So this second space within this cavity, once you're up the back of it, is actually quite a decent sized cave we have here. We can see here down to where Gaia is. This is like kind of layered. It's almost like, I don't know, almost like rows of seats there leading up to where I'm sitting here at the back of the cave, leading to this entrance. But this beautiful circular shape here leading to where I am, and then the entrance there. See if we can get up here. You've made it up, Gaia? Oh wow. Look at that. Gaia, Gaia, come here. Wait. Careful, Gaia. Amazing. So we're now inside one of the other cavities, and it's equally beautiful. Absolutely amazing. And that's what I love doing. My rep in nature is exploring these ancient sacred landscapes. You know, clearly I'm drawn to nature and the megaliths. It's these landscapes, it's seeing these places that the ancients would have saw. And this is an incredible place. I absolutely love it. Come, Gaia. Gaia. Gaia.
Não é? Você tá? Você tá Não, não é, não. Não é difícil, mas não é o top, não é o top de seta. Seta é difícil. Seta vai para a esquerda, vai para o centro. Como é que se chama aquilo?
Gaia. On there. So I'm on the other side now from the first cave cavity that we were in. We're now directly opposite. It's absolutely baking now. It's a gorgeous day. Bright blue skies, vivid greens. There's a few people turned up now. I was the first here, so people here now, so I'm gonna have to leave in a second. But this is amazing. Climbing up into this other, on the other side. I think these ones are less accessible, but look at this one here. Again, it looks like space made for me, to be fair. Excuse me, Gaia. A space for me to have a wee seat and enjoy this view. Well, I don't think I'd be able to climb into that one. There's a couple of large stones sitting in front of this one. It's interesting. Pointing up to the cavity we were in earlier. Over here. There's also one over here as well. This is a magical place. Wow. Absolutely amazing. Amazing. I don't know how far this goes. I think maybe you can see the end of it there. Our cavities here. Amazing. So there we go. Buracas do Casmillo. This is an incredible ancient karst limestone landscape here in central Portugal with these cavities, these natural formations going into the mountain. They could well have been deeper caves at one point, for all we know. And there's clearly underground water springs here. I can feel the water. I can see the water within these cavities. Also, there's these acoustic properties. So this was no doubt an energetic hotspot for the ancients. It's certainly known that the Moorish people, they used this as a sanctuary or kind of lookout during the re-Christianization of Portugal around the, I think, 11th century, medieval times. And it's thought they had treasure here from some distant castle in Portugal. But again, thinking through the Neolithic mindset, I think this would have been an energetic hotspot, a place not only for shelter, but perhaps a place of ritual and ceremonies with the water sources, with the acoustic properties, but also with the ancients, in my belief, viewing the earth as a living entity. Perhaps these cavities were sacred entrances to the womb of Mother Earth, almost. So it's a real magical place. This is a place, this is a landscape I'm not going to forget in a hurry. So I hope you've enjoyed it. It's a beautiful day now. So I'm going to sit here for a wee while with Gaia. Gaia? Have some lunch and then make my way back to my car. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, I really appreciate it. Please give us a wee like, comment and subscribe to Rapper Nature. Alright, nice one. Cheers.